Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Rundown, where we talk about 2A news and conservative views. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I don't do this.
That's right. My name's Mike P. Rowarski, coming to you live from the East Coast, coast with the most, from co-host with the most here on The Rundown. 2A views, conservative news, and Craig, thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's
Friday. Friday.
Thank God it's
Friday. 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 Friday.
Oh, folks, you gotta love Friday. I don't know what it is. Even if you gotta work on the weekend, there's just something that is freeing about Friday.
Yeah, free. It's like the return of something free. Like, here's your freedom back. We're going to let you have it for about a day and a half. We're going to let you taste it, and
Right. Then sometime late Sunday afternoon, you're going to start to realize that the hostage situation is about to return.
Yes, yeah, and it's about noon. It's Sunday for me, and about noon or Sunday. I think we need another day of the week. But I want to just get rid of like Tuesday. Just eliminate Tuesday, right?
Okay, so you want to add a day to the weekend and then take away a day from the week.
Correct. So you'll have Monday, hump day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Saturday, Sunday?
Saturday, Sunday.
Saturday,
right in the middle, we're going to call it.
So you put it right between Sunday and Saturday.
Yes.
Okay, well, how about just adding 6 hours onto each day? Not 6 hours, 12 hours onto each day.
I'm supposed to change the rotation of the Earth too? I mean, I still want 7 days. I'm just going to take one back. I'm taking one back.
Okay. All right, so Mike has officially endorsed the 4-day work week.
Yes, yep, and the advent of Saturday,
Sunday, and the elimination of time zones.
That way, when somebody comes up to you and they said, "Hey, when do you want to do that thing on the weekend?" You're like, "I don't know, Saturday, Sunday, whatever."
Whatever. There you go. Just call it whatever.
Yeah, that's it. Whatever.
Whatever. Okay, Mike, you sold me. I will. When I do eventually wind up in Congress, I will introduce that bill.
There you go. Well, I mean, I'll be your chief of staff, so I'll put it through for you.
We'll make sure it gets in there. There you go. Always good to have good staff. Always good to hire good people.
Well, I'm not good. I just got Polaroid pictures of you, so.
Okay, that's hilarious. That you still use Polaroid. Anyway, moving right along.
You did these things a little while ago, and I also know how to keep things out of the cloud. Polaroid.
Good stuff. Speaking of good stuff, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors.
Yeah, let's say hi to our good friends at Hitman Industries. That's hitmanindustries.net. You got yourself an AR in the past 5 years. You probably got one of their barrels, don't even know it. Well, now you can buy from them factory direct at hitmanindustries.net. Hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly, fighting the good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. If you want the best in tactical concealed holsters on the market, get on over to Hog Holsters. That's HAWGholsters.com, hogholsters.com. Use the discount code, The Rundown. That's all one word, no spaces, all caps. Get a nice little discount. And if you're looking for field gear, tactical gear, going outdoor gear, web gear, hunting gear, whatever it might be, you can get everything except the gun from our friends at uscombatgear.com. Back to you, Craig.
That's right, folks. Please take a moment, visit our sponsors. Look, all you got to do is follow the links in the description of this program. Go there, check them out. They are solid Americans. They are people who want the same things that you want for this country. So why not this? Why not get a great product by buying it from them, and then also know that you're going to help good Americans. Just check them out. And by the way, when you do, make sure you tell them it was the guys over at the Rundown that sent you.
You know when I would buy it? I would buy it on Saturday, Sunday.
On Saturday, Sunday, the day that never
Sunday,
was.
yeah. That's it. Just
Instead of,
whatever you like.
instead of a leap year, why not a leap day? Or we just add a day in the middle. Every once a month, we'll just add a day in the middle of the weekend.
You see, but I think you're missing the point. If we're going to add a day, you got to lose a day somewhere else. You got to
in the middle of the week. You lose it in the middle of the week.
Well, that's what we're doing. That's the plan. We're
make the day leap from the middle of the work week to the weekend. I mean, if we need a compromise, if you can't do it every day, every week, so once a month.
According to you, the month would go 1, 2, 9, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 4, 7. Just jump back?
Sure.
Okay. Saturday, Sunday.
We're
getting rid of Tuesday.
Saturday, Sunday. Okay. Sounds like a plan, man. Sounds like a plan.
Tuesdays are gone.
Okay, let's get into today's news. We're going to start off here, and there's a story, and you interestingly, you probably haven't heard a whole lot about this, but there was a shooting that took place. It was a mass shooting because it involved the shooting of four police officers. By definition, four more is considered a quote unquote mass shooting. But the four people that were shot were cops. They were law enforcement, and they were shot while enforcing gun control law. Anyway, all that having been said, you notice you don't hear anything in the media about it. You don't hear gun grabbers saying one word about it. Well, there's kind of a reason behind that, and I'm not going to I am about to speculate, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to check it out, check out the story a little bit, and see if you might guess why it is. It says here, a man killed 4 cops and broke gun control laws, but media aren't invested in the story for some reason. Maybe because it's James Harden? No.
He plays basketball? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's not James Harden. Anyway, it says here, Terry Clark Hughes is black, which isn't convenient for the media's perpetual campaign against gun rights and law enforcement. It says here, a white man shot law enforcement officers this week, ultimately killing 4 of them and wounding 4 more. And he did it as they were attempting to arrest him for breaking gun control laws. Where are all the stories about white supremacy and assault weapon bans? Wait a minute. The suspect is black, and all 4 victims were white. Nothing to see here after all. It's interesting how that works. Just shy of 4 years ago, our national news media and Democrats in general declared it time for a racial reckoning because one erratic fentanyl addict died of a heart attack in custody after a cop attempted to wrestle him under control. We haven't stopped hearing about it since. But on Monday, Terry Clark Hughes Jr., 39, under warrant for illegal firearm possession and evading arrest, allegedly greeted police arriving to take him into custody by raining rounds of bullets on them using his rifle from the second story of a nondescript suburban home. Hughes was killed in the shootout, but so were 4 officers. Did I mention they were simply trying to arrest Hughes for illegally owning a gun? A breach of laws I'm promised by the media are vital to safety of every man, woman, and child in America. So you get the point here. It's like they've made it out to be that this is that enforcement of gun control laws has got to happen. And here we have a man who killed 4 law enforcement officers, but because it doesn't fit the narrative, because he's not a crazy MAGA hat wearing right-wing conservative member of a militia, we're not going to talk about it. We're going to just simply ignore it because it really doesn't matter.
It's it's not funny, Craig, because we had these law enforcement officers killed. I believe last I saw was 8 or 10. I don't have the full details. I don't know if this was a convicted felon with a gun or somebody that they're going to talk to about a gun crime. I don't have all the details for that. Having said that, None of those details should make a difference when it comes to, if the left looking for someone to say, we need more gun control. We need more gun control. The one fact that they see as that this shooter is black and the victims are white law enforcement officers, it does not meet their agenda. It does not meet what they're looking for to make public. So just simply gone by the story, left it alone. It means nothing to them. We need to get back to focusing on things like, gay, trans, lesbians for Palestine occupying NYU. We have to talk about that.
Well, Mike, what's a trip about this also is now compare the fact that you don't hear anything about this in any of the mainstream media. But do you remember the guy who not very long ago shot at cops and and basically the cops shot back and killed him? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So
yes.
Now here was what they were reporting regarding him. You had the Washington Post. You have police fire 96 shots in 41 seconds, killing black man during traffic stop. Then you had CNN. The family of Dexter Reed, a 26-year-old black man who was killed in a hail of bullets fired by police during traffic stop. And then you also have the Associated Press. Video shows 26-year-old black man briefly lowering a window and then raising it and refusing to exit a vehicle as officers arrived. Now you notice nowhere in there is any mention of the fact that he shot at cops. That he was nowhere in there. And this other guy, there's no way they can make a victim out of him because he shot and killed. He laid in wait and then shot and killed 4 police officers and then wounded 4 others.
Yeah, pretend it didn't happen with the latest crime. And you're right with the previous crime where the 26-year-old was killed. Shot at police, all over video, Craig. It's not like this is our word versus their word. Listen, the left has pushed for years and years and years for cops to wear cameras so we can have accountability. And the accountability's there of this guy shooting at the cops, and they don't want to use it.
No. They don't want to mention it at all because, once again, it doesn't fit their narrative. And they're all about narrative. And all they care about is those things that advance their narrative. And here you have, so this clearly was not an innocent black man who was shot. And trust me, if they could have found a way to make him out to be white, if he had like a white sounding name, they would have just used his name and not even bothered to show his picture. They would have given him the George Zimmerman treatment.
White Hispanic treatment. Oh yeah, poor George.
Exactly. They would have just said, okay, we're going to treat this. If his name had been something like George Zimmerman, they would have lambasted him. It'd have been all out there and been like, white man shoots you. No, but he was at least half black. No, it was the white side that did it.
I could still see in the back of my brain, Craig, when Trayvon Martin was killed, right, and the black protesters started to show up, and the major names started to show up because they weren't going to charge George Zimmerman, and they were assembling, right? And I could just see the first time they put up George Zimmerman's picture, and all the black protesters went, "I thought you said he was white." No, that's what we're going. We're going with white Hispanic. That's what we're going to say. We're going to say white Hispanic. Mm-hmm. His name is George Zimmerman. Yeah, no, but his great grandfather was Spanish or something. Go with that.
Go with that. There you go. Spanish.
They'd already assembled their forces against him. They couldn't pull him back. They're like, well, we're all here. We're going to party either way.
Yeah, that pretty much was their attitude. They were like, look, this is going down one way or t'other. And once again, I think it makes them look stupid. Yeah. But once again, they get away with it because Democrats won't hold Democrats accountable, and Democrats will not hold them accountable. Once again, when they do not fit the narrative, when they do not, when they ignore things that don't fit the narrative. But that's how you know it's propaganda, not press.
That's right.
Anyway.
That's right.
Moving right along, Biden's invasion plan. That's right. I called it Biden's invasion plan. There was a video. There's a little missed testimony that had taken place, and this was testimony by the former ICE chief. This was whoever the ICE chief that was under Donald Trump, and he went before Congress and he was testifying earlier this year, and he was actually very specific, and he was talking about not just he was talking about exactly why Biden wants people to come in through the southern border, what the funding that they were looking for was actually going to do, why they were releasing people into the country instead of detaining them at the border. And it's literally all about making sure that when people come into this country illegally, that they are able to stay. It is planned, and here he is revealing that plan.
Catch and release is rampant. Right now, Secretary Mayorkas already said 85% of everybody coming to the border is being released in the country. They're not being detained. And why are they being detained? Because of two reasons. Number one, because he knows, like I do, that vast majority of these people will be removed 5, 7 years down the road, maybe 10. He also knows the Homeland Security Life Cycle Report says if you get an order removal and you're in an ice bed, you get removed 99% of the time. But if you're not in detention, your chance of being removed are slim. If your family unit, about 6%. That's why they're releasing them. Thousands of empty ice beds sitting there right now, already paid for by the taxpayer. They rather release them because they know the vast majority will lose their case and be ordered removed, but they're not in detention, they won't be removed. So this administration comes up with what they call lawful pathways, which I think they'll lose when the decisions of the courts come out. The CBP-1 app, 95.8% are approved. Where's the case-by-case analysis that is supposed to be done for people for a parole? It's not being done. It's a shell game. They move thousands to the port of entry so they can claim less illegal entries.
All right, tell you what I'm going to do. There was a little bit of an echo during that part, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play it again, this time without the echo.
There we go.
Catch and release is rampant. Right now, Secretary Mayorkas already said 85% of everybody coming to the border is being released in the country. They're not being detained. And why are they being detained? Because of two reasons. Number one, because he knows, like I do, that vast majority of these people will be ordered removed 5, 6, 7 years down the road, maybe 10. He also knows the Homeland Security Life Cycle Report says if you get an order removal and you're in an ice bed, you get removed 99% of the time. But if you're not in detention, your chances of being removed are slim. If you're a family unit, it's about 6%. That's why they're releasing them. Thousands of empty ice beds sitting there right now, already paid for by the taxpayer. They rather release them because they know the vast majority will lose their case and they'll be ordered removed, but if they're not in detention, they won't be removed. So this administration comes up with what they call lawful pathways, which I think are illegal, and I think they'll lose when the decision of the courts come out. The CBP-1 app, 95.8% are approved. Where's the case-by-case analysis that is supposed to be done for people for a parole? It's not being done. It's a shell game. They move thousands to the port of entry so they can claim less illegal entries between the port of entries, but it's failed because November, December, we saw record amounts of crossings on the border, over 300,000 just in December. And people who say that the border is not in crisis, I tell you this, in 2020, the total encounters on the southwest border is 646,000. This year, 3.2 million, 5 times what we saw during last year's Trump administration. Court orders are years out, but this administration is counting on it. You overflow the system. It'll push these court dates back 7, 8 years. And what's going to happen? Mark my word. When they finally get order removal 7 years down the road, they'll have a USC child. They'll have 2 USC children. They'll get phone calls from, the director of ICE will get phone calls from the Hill saying, why'd you remove that person with 2 USC kids? Well, he didn't have 2 USC kids when he entered the country legally. So now that he has 2 USC kids, he's immune from the law. The court order means nothing. So here's what I'm looking for. If for people who demand these people have a right to claim asylum, they have a right to due process. I agree. But due process doesn't mean anything if the final decision of the courts is not executed and people aren't removed.
So, as you see here, basically what he's pointing to is the fact that, and I think this is something that we already knew, but it's interesting to see him point that out, is he wants them to come in. He wants them to get a court date that he knows isn't going to be heard for years into the future. And between now and then, they're going to get jobs. They're going to get married. They're going to have kids. And next thing you know, they're going to be like, yeah, well, they're here now, so we're not going to kick them out. But if they were in ICE detention, if they were in a bed and they were there when they got their hearing, they know their butts are going to get bounced back out of the country. And Biden knows this. That's why we know this is all a plan to subvert our immigration laws.
When Castro dumped out the prisons in 79 and 80, the United States put them in the Chrome Detention Center down in South Florida, a federal installation, Greg, so that anything like that could not happen. so that they had to stay on federal property. So if they got there pregnant and had a child, they could not claim that they now had rights to being a U.S. citizen. By the way, for folks that don't understand what he says by a USC kid, he's not talking about people that go to college in Southern California. That's under U.S. code, the anchor babies, right? That's those that they have a child here, so they have a right to stay with the child because the child's now a citizen, and the child depends on them for primary care.
Exactly. And it's vitally, once again, it's important that, and once again, this is about having laws and following those laws, and not just having a president who's flat out trying to find a way to circumvent those laws. That's what I'm saying. What we're seeing going on at the border is intentional. When he was asking for funding, he was not asking for more border security. He was saying, let's get them to the ports of entry so that we can process them. Let them in, and then, they'll eventually get to stay. Let them in with the understanding that it's going to be so long before you finally have your day in court, you're going to get to stay.
Yeah, and Craig, the question we always get is why? Why? Why would he do that? Why would he do that? It's simple, folks. How many times do you have to see over the elections over the past 6 election cycles, right? Since Gore Bush, that the country's divided at 50-50 and we're coming down to the last couple of votes. Well, if I could force 3 to 6 million people in here and give them welfare the moment they come through the door and guarantee their votes, I've added 6 million people voting Democrat. That's why.
Well, the interesting thing, though, that we're starting to find, especially right now when you look at these policies, is the people who are coming in, or at least who have come in, they're not breaking his way in those numbers. In fact, a majority of Latino voters are not voting for him.
Well, we're still in the first part of the wave.
Yeah.
There's a wave that we have to watch, Craig, because you're right. There's not a lot that are voting. It's not 100%, but it's definitely over 50. But the next part that takes effect is the census in 2030. And when you have the census in 2030 in bigger states like California, and the other sanctuary states, they're going to get future electoral votes and positions in Congress to help tip the roles in Congress as well. So this is not a
yes.
1 year plan. Boom, I got 6 million voters. This is something that's going to take a generation to come to fruition.
Well, not just that. But you are right. It's not just about the voters, but it's about the apportionment of representation and resources, and that is not based on number of citizens. That's just based on the number of people. And the fact that they want them to go to these blue states, their goal is to increase the number of people so that they can increase the representation of the left. Now, this sounds awfully familiar. Democrats did this once before. Oh, right. It was called the 3/5 Compromise, and it was called slavery, where they wanted to take people who wouldn't count as citizens, but they wanted to use their existence in this country as a way in which to increase their political power. Nothing new for Democrats.
Nope, definitely not.
Absolutely nothing new. Well, what's that saying? There's nothing new under the sun.
Here's your sign.
Speaking of nothing new under the sun, how about another Democrat being indicted for corruption? Not surprising at all, right? This gentleman here happens to come from Texas. Where's it at here? I was just looking at it. That ain't it. Anyway, so this is Representative Cuellar from Texas. Representative Henry Cuellar from Texas has been indicted on bribery and foreign influence charges. It says here the Justice Department on Friday released an indictment against longtime Representative Henry Cuellar, Democrat of Texas, and his wife Imelda, charging the pair with bribery and money laundering related to their ties to the Bank of Mexico and an oil and gas company controlled by Azerbaijan. NBC News was first to report that the charges were coming. The congressman and his wife were released on $100,000 bond after the first appearance in federal court in Houston, the DOJ spokesperson said Friday afternoon. According to the indictment, from 2014 to 2021, the Cuellars allegedly accepted roughly $600,000 in bribes from 2 foreign entities in exchange for the congressman performing official acts. Quote, the bribe payments were allegedly laundered pursuant to sham consulting contracts through a series of front companies and middlemen into shell companies owned by Imelda Cuellar, who performed little to no legitimate work under the contracts, the DOJ said in the statement. Now, Mike, now correct me if I am wrong, but if you just switched out Imelda with Hunter and switched out Azerbaijan with every foreign country like Ukraine, China, yada, 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 it sounds to me like the same exact thing.
Maybe that's why we're seeing the prosecution on this case. Maybe that's it, Craig. Maybe they're doing this, bringing this forward so that they could say, when this one gets either past the first or second stages here, first appearance, and start pulling pulling documents left and right and filing motions. If this thing has legs, maybe we'll see this case be used as a model to go after Hunter. I look at this one though, Craig, and I see Imelda the wife, foreign transactions, banks, foreign countries. Is this woman's last name Marcos? Have we checked to see how many shoes she has in her closet? Sounds like she might be the one doing a little responsible party dance here.
You know what? I got to tell you, you may not be entirely off there, man. You may not be entirely off at all. But excuse me, like I said, I read this story, and at first I was like, oh yeah, great, another Democrat. You already have Senator Menendez. You already got him dealing with the problem, and now you got this guy. But then I thought about it, and the more I read, I was like, literally, this is the Biden crime family of Texas.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Why isn't Hunter being charged? Well, because Hunter, maybe Henry Cuellar doesn't have the Polaroids of Biden. Maybe that's it. Whereas Hunter does.
There you go. Maybe that's it. All I know is, I hope what you said is correct. I hope that this is them laying the foundation, because like I said, this is literally A B. This is literally the different names, different countries, same stuff.
Yeah, because you think about it, this is odd to see right now because you have a Democrat in the White House. So you have a Democrat-controlled DOJ, and they charge a Democrat out of Texas. It's an odd formula there,
It is, and maybe, just maybe, you have a U.S. attorney that is about doing their job and not about partisan politics.
Yeah.
That could very. In fact, I feel pretty comfortable saying I'm sure there are plenty of U.S. attorneys who are more interested in enforcing the law and doing right than they are about partisan politics. I don't know how many. I won't say it's a majority, but I'm sure there's more than one. How about that?
I see this more, Craig, as like, okay, the DOJ got to report something was going on. So Cuellar said, come on over, do the interview. And they got there, and there's like cocaine and white slavery everywhere. And he's like, don't worry about that. I work for Biden. And they're like, what are you doing?
Did you say cocaine and white slavery?
Yeah. And Joe, they work for Biden. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Don't forget guns. That's part of Hunter's thing too, right?
There you go. They definitely got to throw an illegal gun in there.
Yeah, remember Hunter's cocaine, right? Hunter's white slavery, the whole prostitution thing, right? And then the gun thing, right?
Exactly. Oh wait, I almost forgot, Mike. We were talking about Hunter Biden, and so therefore I do believe that it is appropriate.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
F your couch.
Oh, good stuff. All right, next we have up Joe Biden is going to basically be handing out 19 medals of honor. Now, I don't know much about the handing out of medals of honor. What I do know is it's the highest honor that a civilian can earn. I know that one of the people that's going to be getting one is Nancy Pelosi. I don't know if 19 is a big number to give out at one time or not. But I do know that one of them is being handed out to Michael Bloomberg. That's right. Okay, Mikey's over here waving. What you got, Mike? What you got for us, Mike?
Cocaine's a hell of a
Okay,
drug.
I want to be clear for this one, so we can reduce the amount of emails we're going to get. We're talking about Presidential Medals of Freedom.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're okay.
Yeah.
You. Thank you for the correction. I appreciate that. Michael was over there like he was doing the potty dance or something. Anyway, it says here, Biden gives Medal of Freedom to Godfather of Gun Control. This is from Cam Edwards over at Bearing Arms. He says, there's something bitterly ironic about the fact that Joe Biden is giving the Presidential Medal of Freedom award to a New York billionaire who spent hundreds of millions of dollars trying to take away our freedom to keep and bear arms. Michael Bloomberg, the godfather of the modern gun control movement, is one of 19 people to be awarded the medal by Biden today, alongside other Democrat stalwarts Nancy Pelosi, John Kerry, Al Gore, and Representative Jim Clyburn. I'm sorry, if this medal ever meant anything, it no longer
Cocaine's
does.
a hell of a drug.
If you're going to give it to Jim Clyburn and Nancy Pelosi, I mean, at least Nancy Pelosi, I'll give credit. She was one of the longest serving speakers ever, and I don't know if giving her the Medal of Freedom is worth it, but she knew how to keep her caucus in line.
Yeah, but is longevity the only thing for this? I mean, I was the worst employee ever for the longest time. Okay, you get a medal. What? I don't know.
Well, I'm just wondering. So he's giving it to Al Gore instead of an Oscar for an Inconvenient Truth. I mean, is he giving it to him because he's literally managed for absolutely zero of the predictions he made in his movie have come to pass?
Well, because he made the predictions, Craig, they were able to stop them. Don't you know how the space-time continuum works?
Oh, you got me, man. I missed that one. Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, I just wonder, man. These guys, I'm like, all right. So it was bad enough when when Rush Limbaugh got it. Now, one of the reasons why I like the idea of Rush Limbaugh getting it is because, number one, he always preached and always talked about the idea and the concept of freedom, but he also led a kind of political revolution in what he was able to do with talk radio.
Podcast. There's no
Right.
vidcast. There's no blogs. There's no conservative radio. There's none of us without Rush Limbaugh.
Right. But I think the left took that as, oh, well, we can now give the award to any of the like left-wing kooks that we agree with.
Yeah, let him. It's gonna have his picture on it, Biden's picture on it. It's not like you can get a cup of coffee with it. You know, people are gonna be like, "That's a Biden Medal of Freedom. That's not worth anything here."
Freedom from his depends.
That's it.
Oh, good stuff. Okay, moving right along. We're now at the time for our parting shots. Our parting shots are brought to you by Hog Holsters. Just go to hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces. Get your Hog Holster today. Our first one comes here. I found this one I found this video at a meme group that Mike hit me onto, and I don't know. I just found it very, very interesting, and I think it is a prediction on what is going to occur in the upcoming election. How can you not get excited about that?
The only thing missing there is President Trump's fully auto semi-automatic rifle.
Fully auto semi-automatic rifle
Yeah.
with the kung fu grip.
And Biden trying to get his AR-14 from him.
pull out his shooting his shotgun at the door.
That's it. Him and the
There you
AFT.
Oh, okay. This next one here, for those of you who are fans of Battlestar Galactica, there's Starbuck. He says, when we find Earth, I'm going to open a chain of coffee shops in my name.
Speaking of space-time continuum, that's how you know they're here.
That's
right?
how you know they're here.
That's how they're here. That's how you know they're here. That's how you know they're here.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff.
I also sent you one with the picture of Schwarzenegger. Can you bring the one with Schwarzenegger up for me?
Sure. Let's go to that one. Mr. Freeze?
Yeah, every time you say the former ice chief, that's what I see in my head.
That's what you see.
Yeah, the former ice
All
chief.
right. Good stuff.
Schwarzenegger, that's Dr. Freeze. Dr. Freeze.
But
And
you know what?
I think I sent you one on popcorn too, if you want to put that one up.
I think you did. Well, hold on. Let's see if we can find it. This one right here.
Oh no, geez,
I could sure. We'll
that
never
one?
know what could have been. Oh, tell you what, let's go to this one right here. How about this one? Oh, let's tax the air they breathe. Then we'll tell them it's to help the planet.
That's it.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I did see the one on popcorn, and no, we will not be putting that one up.
Smells
Mike,
like popcorn to me.
yeah, it might smell like popcorn, but no, thank you. No, thank you.
All right.
You're trying to get me in trouble. Anyway, on that note, it's about time to end the show. But before we do, you know what we got to do? We got to give a quick shout out to our sponsors.
Yeah, Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. You can get rifle and pistol caliber barrels at any length you desire for your next AR rifle or pistol build. That's hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly, fighting the good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. And if you're looking for the best in field gear, tactical gear, hunting gear, whatever it might be, you can get everything except the gun at uscombatgear.com.
That's right, folks. Please take a moment, visit our sponsors, spend some money with them, let them know that the guys over at the Rundown sent you. And with that, the show is done for the day. We very much appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you liking and sharing the program and encouraging your friends to do the same. We will be back on Monday. Fun day, gun day. Till then, y'all have a good weekend. Send a few downrange and throw one down for me.
Party like a rock.